Hello and welcome to Horrible Histories of Lough, a short series of videos presented as part of a project for Irish Heritage Week 2020. I'm Sharon Arbuthnot. In this instalment I'm going to be looking at the medieval tradition of how the Lough turned to blood. The most significant events that occurred in early Ireland are recorded in annals, essentially year-by-year records of the news in the country. The annals record, for example, that in the year 690 a wolf spoke with a human voice, and in 890 the body of a woman who was 195 foot tall washed ashore in Bangor, County Down. And the annals of Ulster tell us that in the year 683 Lough turned to blood. Lough is not the only lough in Ireland to have suffered this fate. A couple of centuries later, in 864, Lough in County Westmeath is said to have turned to blood for 9 days, so that lumps of gore like lungs formed round the edges of it. In other years, blood rain is recorded in the annals. In 690, a shower of blood is said to have fallen on Leinster, while butter turned to lumps of blood and gore. In the 870s, a storm of wind and rain ended in a shower of blood. Afterwards, splashes and clots were seen on the plains, especially near Lough in County Meath. At the time, these must have been terrifying events, but the phenomenon of red rain falling from the sky has been documented throughout the world since about the 8th century BC, when Homer wrote about it in the Iliad. A recent large-scale event happened in Kerala in India. Red rain fell sporadically from the 25th of July until the 23rd of September 2001. Lakes too have been known to turn red in recent times. Hutt Lagoon in Western Australia turned a splendid shade of pink in December 2018. Blood rain in Ireland is usually explained as dust particles or other debris in the atmosphere which dissolves in rain and falls to the ground. It's often attributed to sand blown in from the Sahara. The government of India commissioned a study into the red rain that fell in Kerala though, and attributed the colour to airborne spores of algae. Similarly, a study in Hutt Lagoon in 2018 concluded that the algae lying in the bottom of the lake had responded to a high level of salt by producing red pigment during photosynthesis. So perhaps whatever happened to Lough in 683 happened as a result of environmental factors, of ecological changes that haven't been otherwise documented. There's a similar phenomenon whereby bright red streaks occur in snow. Again, this has been attributed to the pigment from algae which thrives in very low temperatures. Nothing in the historical annals indicate that red snow was ever found in Ireland, but there's a reference in literature which suggests that in the Middle Ages the Irish might have observed or known of this strange phenomenon. My question for you then is, how did the medieval Irish refer to this red snow? Did they call it raspberry snow, rose snow, wine snow, or tomato snow? We put this question to a live audience and this is their results. Not a single vote for raspberry snow, although this strange natural phenomenon is sometimes referred to as raspberry snow or watermelon snow. 42% for each of rose snow and wine snow, and strangely a 17% for tomato snow, even though tomatoes weren't known in Ireland until the 16th century. The correct answer is actually wine snow. We have this strange reference, and it might be 12th or 13th century tale that tells us that in the time of a man named Fionachta, snow of wine fell. Whatever that comment might have originally meant, later Irish scholars took it quite literally and claimed that people drank this snow and became intoxicated. I hope you've enjoyed this second instalment in the Horrible Histories of Lough, and that you'll join me for part 3 to hear how the eels got in the Lough.